Well, I'd probably set the stage here a little bit and say that the year is approximately 1966.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a television series called The Girl from U.N.C.L.E, which was an enormous responsibility for me at a very young age, and the threat coming down from the network was very heavy because they used to say, now don't be nervous, but you have millions of dollars riding on your head. So the day came when we were handed a script called the Mother Muffin Affair. And how it was possible for them to have cast this gentleman, I don't know. But I walked into makeup one morning and I saw this old woman sitting in a chair. And she turned around and there was Boris Karloff, who said, "This is the first time I've ever appeared as a woman." You know, that amazing voice of his. And of course, he melted me and everybody else around him. And I'm sure that he was well aware of the impact that he'd had on children, because he was anything but distant or unapproachable as one might have thought he might be, because we all watched him as kiddies. And I do remember his gentleness.
Crew to the stage, please strike the piano, thank you.
I remember his gentleness and his kindness, and he was not well in those days. He had a brace on his leg, and in spite of the pain that he must have been in, considerable pain, he had trouble walking, and he never let anybody know that he was in pain. He never excused anything that he did because of his pain. He was, as I'm sure everybody else has said, a beguilingly lovely man. And I feel so thrilled to have had the opportunity of just even being in his presence and watching him work, because they don't make those kind of people anymore. And how lucky to have experienced it. Well, you know, when I was working in the business since I was 15 years of age, but nevertheless, I was as awestruck as anybody, because clearly he represented an image that was indelible in children's minds. You know, the evil always, you know, there's always something threatening about him, and to find him just the opposite was a sheer delight.
Yeah,
I wish I'd been older and under less pressure myself, to have been able to have more time with him, or to appreciate the time that I had with him, and get more out of it. But we were both at this period, he was not well, and he really was not well, and was making an incredible effort to overcome his impairments. I was also under a tremendous amount of pressure, and we were working about 14 hours a day, and it was not an easy thing. We would do 12 pages of dialogue a day, you know, and move around from here to there. There was never any time, not much time for sitting around and chatting. But whatever I did get, I value tremendously. The most remarkable thing was his timing and his knowledge of himself as a performer. His timing was impeccable. He had, I don't know at what point he absorbed the persona, because he had definitely a persona that was bigger than life. And perhaps that superseded and transcended any other role that he did. But it was his personality, his character was so strong that it was indelible in every character he played. And yet he knew his machinery so well that his timing was flawless. Yeah. He moved and he knew where the camera was at all times. He knew exactly what was good for him and good for his character. Unlike with some people, there was no afterlife to our friendship. You know, I never ever saw him again, unfortunately. However it was, our paths never crossed. Whereas with Bing Crosby and John Wayne and Ava Gardner and Maureen O'Hara, we all became like family, you know. And so there was this extension to our friendship, and Tallulah Bankhead, and you know, those sort of people. But with him, there wasn't there. It sort of stopped there. It also was so quick. You know?
Yeah.
We did those in 6 days.
Yeah.
6 days.
Yeah. 6 days. And on the 7th day, we started a new show.
Yeah.
That was working.
Oh, I tell you, we were shell shock victims. We had no time for pleasantries. We never. I don't think either Noel or I really had any friendships that developed out of from the guest stars because we never had any time. We were in every shot. Literally every shot, and we were racing around like chickens with our heads.
They made it work, eh?
They really did.
Wow.
And we did 26 hours per year. Today we do 22.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
It is, yeah.
Well, Stefanie, thanks a lot.
Thank you.